Section 3. Set Analysis Recipes. These set analysis recipes will help us achieve the desired business metric by applying custom logic. And the very first recipe is the important set analysis terms. These are some of the very important terms that you should know when working with the set analysis. So let's look at what are these. So first of all, this is an example of set analysis. Here, if you see, the first part is the function, the sum function, and then the curly bracket, a dollar sign, and then the opening angle bracket. Then a field is given, region, which is having this operator equals to, which is indicating that region equals to west, and then west is again surrounded by curly bracket and then opening and closing the single quotation. After that, you have sales as a field. So what it is basically doing is it is capturing the sales, or it is doing the summation of sales for only region where region equals to west. But over here, the dollar sign, it is something that you can replace with couple of other signs. So what it really indicates, dollar, and what are the other signs we will going to look at in just a couple of seconds. So first of all, dollar consider all of the current filter selection. That means if you have any filters and if you try to apply this on this particular expression, let's say for example this expression is part of table visualization, then all of the filters like product category or customer segment will apply on this. One, if let's say you replace dollar by 1, then it will ignore every filter selection that you apply, and it will always show you the entire value for the sales where region equals to west. $1, consider the previous filter selection. So think about a scenario where along with the current selection you need to show the value of the previous filter selection. In those scenarios, we can apply the $1 as the expression over here. And then opposite of that is $_1 that consider the next filter selection. That means the existing filter that you will have and the next filter you will select will have the value in the field. And all of this we will see in just a couple of seconds in the sheet, because in theory sometimes it is difficult to understand. But before we move ahead, just one word related to $1 and $_1, that you can also have $2, $_2, $3, or $3, and so on and so forth, and it will reflect in case if let's say you have 2, then previous to previous filter selection, and if you have let's say $_2, then next to next filter selection. Only the word of caution is the more complexity you will introduce to set analysis, the more complicated it will be for you to explain it to the user. So sometimes it is absolutely important that you should use it to achieve the desired business metric, but just make sure that your business user is able to understand what you are applying over here. So here I am in the Qlik Sense worksheet, and over here let's take some filters along with the metric. So for our set analysis, first of all, let's go into the chart, and over here we will take a filter pane over here, and I will just drag it a little bit up, and I will add the dimension, let's say customer segment, and I will add one more dimension which is product category. So once we add this, if we just squeeze this up, then it will be just 2 boxes, customer segment, product category, which is expandable in the front end. And then we will take the table visualization over here, and we will add a dimension which is let's say product subcategory. So we will select the product subcategory here, and we will add a measure which is the sales measure. So that will be sum of sales. So right now we have done nothing, but we have just taken the basic values where we have product subcategory and sum of sales. And let's try to add one more measure which is based on the set analysis. So I am here in the expression window, and I am writing the expression as you can see by opening and closing curly braces and opening and closing angle bracket, and I'm applying dollar sign. Now dollar sign is a default sign. So let's say if I don't apply this, by default the set analysis will take the dollar into consideration, and as per the theory, dollar allows us to take the effect of every selection that we are making from the front end filters we just added, like product category or customer segment. For now we will go with the standard and show the dollar sign over here and region equals to, and within the curly brackets, opening and closing single quotation, we will write West, and after that we will add sales as a field. So right now our expression is okay. So again, just to repeat, this is the set analysis part. If I just cut this is how your normally the expression will look like. But if you add this part, this introduce the next level of complexity. Think it like an if condition. If region equals to West, then sum of sales. That's what you're doing. But if you apply the if statement over here, that is more resource intensive and it will slow down your application. That's why you have the set analysis within Qlik Sense. So you click apply, and over here you see the sales only for the region West, but since it has dollar sign, it will take the effect of customer segment and product category. So if I click done, and if I just select the customer segment, let's say consumer, you will see that it is taking the effect. Or if I select corporate, it is taking the effect, but only for West region, not for anything else. Similarly, if I select anything, let's say furniture, then it is taking the effect, but only for West region. So for example, suppose you want to compare the total sales with the sales of the West region based on the selection that you want to apply, then this is how you will do it. For now, what I'll do is I will uncheck this and go into the edit mode to apply the next expression. For next expression, I will just going to select this by Control A, Control C. I have copied the expression, adding the column, clicking on measure and pasting it. Going to do over here is instead of dollar, I will just say 1. So once I press the tab, the expression is over here. If I just expand this, and if you see, both the expression values are same, but in a moment you will see the difference. If I click done, and if I try to apply consumer, you will see the value is changed over here, but here there is no change. If I do any other selection, let's say home office, keep observing this space that only this will change and this will not going to change. So if I click home office, so this is the only part which is changing, and there is no change over here because we have applied 1 instead of dollar, and 1 indicates that it will ignore any selection that I'm making from these filters. So if I just check this is how your product will going to look like. So what it will help you in doing the analysis is that you have total sales. You have the sales only for the West region, but based on the filters that you have applied, based on the customer segment filters. And then finally, what is your overall sales for West? In that way, you will have the complete scenario that for appliances, the overall sales in West is $151,000. But if we look at only the customer segment, which is consumer and home office, our sales is 48,265. So suppose if this is sort of an analysis you are doing, you have all the information in front of you for doing the analysis. So now let's move ahead and see the next part, which is $1, which helps us taking the previous selection. So for that, I will add the measure over here and paste it, and instead of dollar we will say $1, right? This is what we discussed in theory. So I will press the tab and this will create an expression over here. Whatever we selected previously, it is giving the value, but just to take the effect, what I'll do is I will click on done, right? And I will cross this and I will save this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close and reopen the application. So I've closed it and I'm opening this application sales analytics that we have been working on. And over here we have the section 3. So right now, if you see, the value is 0. But if I go ahead and select consumer, it has changed the value, or whatever the selection value was previously, it has taken the effect. So in this case, it has taken the entire value because nothing was selected, and that is a previous selection state, and this value and this value is same. But if I, let's say, select the furniture, so now remember that as soon as I select the furniture, the value will be equals to this. So if I just cross this 26077, or remember this figure 837832, this will be our figure when I select the next one, because as soon as I select this one, the value of customer segment will reflect over here. So if I select furniture and I select it, this is the value that was coming earlier over here. So in this case, for product category selection, the customer segment is the last selected value, and that's what it has come over here. So whenever you have a scenario in hand where you need to capture what you selected previously for the analysis perspective, this is how it will help you. And now let's look at the final one, which is $_1. So for that, I will select this and go into the data, add a column and a measure, paste it, and over here I will just say $_1, and it will next selection that I will be making. So right now it is 0. If I click done, right, and let's say the next selection that I have is technology, and after that home office. So right now it doesn't show anything, and it's because we have to go one step back over here, and then it will show you what was the next selection value. So that is a catch over here when you are working with the $_1, that to show the next selection value, you need to come back to one step back, and that's where it will show the one step back forward selection value. So this is the way by which you can apply whether the $1 sign, $1 or $_1 based on the analysis that you have in hand, and you can achieve the desired outcome based on the scenarios you want to achieve.